Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will be scraping the cricket players statistics from Google. So basically you have seen this Google's statistics board for every cricket player. So if you go to Google and type here any cricketer name here, and then it will show you at this right hand side this all this information related to a cricketer. Here you will see profile picture, a short little description, where the cricketer were born, the country, the height, the batting style. You can see current teams, parents, all this. And this is the, you can see this is the statistics which has shown how many test matches the player has played, how many ODI matches, T20 matches, IPL matches. So these are the figures. You can see that which is 86, 151. This is a variable for every player. If you search it, so we will be scraping all this information and we will be displaying it inside a table, or you can download this information inside a CSV file or a table file. So we will try to scrape this information right here. So I will be showing you the demo first of all how to do this. So we will be using Python for this, and we will be using the Selenium library for web scraping this section here, a whole section. So you can change the cricketer name to any name of your choice. Let's suppose, you can see that this thing will change here, but we will be scraping it so that we can display this inside our application. So you will see. Now let me show you how to do this. Simply what you will do is that we have written a Python script here which will let you do this. So, and then it will display this information right here in the command line. So let me just call this script here. So we will simply say inside this, so we will say that simply Python and the name of the script, which is simply main.py. So you will see I have written this script here. It is using Selenium library here. So main.py. So I will simply call this so Python main.py, and then followed by the website which is google.com. So we need to scrape it from google.com. So we will write https google.com and then the player name, so without spaces. So I will write Kane Williamson. So just enter this, and now it will automatically type this information, Kane Williamson, and now it will give me this information right here. A short little description: Kane is a New Zealand cricketer. You can see all this information. This is the age, date of birth, place, height, right-handed. So all this information will be printed out on the console. A short little description of the cricketer you will see in the console. Then we have the date of birth, right-handed, you can see, and this has played 86 test matches, 151 ODI match. How many runs it has scored, you can see test runs, ODI runs, and then we have 53 average, 47 average in ODI matches. The strike rate, you can see all this information. We are fetching it right here from this area that I have shown you. This is the area that we are scratching this, web scraping it using the Selenium library. So we are simply scraping it. All this information, you will see that I can change the cricketer name to any name of my choice. Let's suppose in this way I need to change to Virat Kohli. So if I write Virat without any spaces, we need to write it and enter it. Now it will open, type it Virat. Automatically all the process will be done, and now it will fetch this information. It's an international Indian international cricketer. You can see that all this information will be printed out. You will see this much of test matches he has played. So we will try to web scrape this using Python in Selenium. So let's start building this application from scratch. So two people are watching the stream, guys. So we will be scraping the cricket player statistics from google.com. So whatever that you see inside this right hand side, we will try to scrape all this information and we will be downloading it or displaying it in the console. You will see for Virat Kohli, you will see all this information is scraped and it is displaying in the command line, and you can change it for any cricketer. Let me once again show it for different cricketer. Let's suppose I write here Ross. Taylor. If I write this, you will see that once again, automatically the process will be done. You will see that. So now let's get started, guys. If you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So first of all, what we need to do is that here we will write the script here. Let me create a new folder here. So right here inside my desktop directory, inside projects, I will make a new folder. So here this will call at cricket statistics. I will cd into this and I will open this inside Visual Studio Code text editor. So right here we will make our main.py file. So right here, first of all, we need to install Selenium. If you haven't already done this, just write this command pip install Selenium. This is the library that you will need here. So install it. After installing it, you just need to, let me just copy paste this. Just import all these dependencies. So let me copy paste it and paste it here. So we need to import Selenium from, we need to import WebDriver from Selenium. We need to import keys. So just write this at the very top. After that, we will have this syntax here, which is, this is very common for Python application. Right here at the bottom, you will see that this needs to be semicolon, colon, colon. So here we will be calling a function which will scrape stats like function, and here we will pass the argument which is given using system.argument, and we will pass the first argument. So now we need to make this function. So define scrape stats, and here we will get the player which we need to sorry, the URL, and also we will pass the system.argv2, which is actually the player which we need to search. We need to scrape the statistics. That's it. So right here we will be scraping the stats from google.com. So right here, first of all, we need to initialize our driver. So this can be done using this function called as if you see, the very first thing we need to do is that we need to initialize the WebDriver. So WebDriver.chrome. So if you are using Firefox, then you will call like this Firefox. So depending upon your browser, you will call this method. So right here you need to install the Chrome driver for your version. So first of all, just write here what is my browser, and then go to this website, and then it will exactly tell you the Chrome which is installed on your computer. So mine is Chrome 99. So basically I will just write here Chrome driver download, and then we will go to this, and we will download the version number driver. So this is Chrome 99. So I will simply click it and download this version. Simply download, and if I open this, you will see that we will have this exe file which will be there. So we need to simply move this exe file to our project location. So there is a move option, I think, copy move to. So we need to select the folder here. Simply I will go to the projects, and my folder name is cricket statistics. So we will search for the folder, and then I will paste it. This is a folder. So simply I will copy it. So now you see we have this chrome driver.exe file which is there inside this. So we can simply pass this, so which will be chrome driver.exe. So first of all, we are writing the Python script, and then we will be converting this to a Node.js application. So after this, we need to open the URL which is passed here. So now to open the URL, we have a function which is driver.get, and then we will pass the URL which is passed. And now basically if you just execute this application right here, python main.py, and if you type a URL here, so basically it will open google.com because we are passing google.com here. So basically it is expecting two arguments here, so we need to also pass the player name. So just write Kane here. So now it will open, you will see google.com. So after opening google.com, what we need to do is that you can also maximize the window as well. So there is a maximize window option. So this maximizes the current window that you opened programmatically. And after that, what we need to do is that we need to target the input element. So whenever you go to Google, there is a search bar. So wherever you search it, so this is a search bar available. So now to get this, in order to click it, in order to put something here, let's suppose I type any cricketer name. So I need to put something through the keyword. So first of all, I need to write something here. So we will right click inspect element, and simply I will copy paste this XPath, copy XPath, and we will declare a variable which is input, and here we will simply say driver dot get element, sorry, this will be driver dot get element. I think this is, let me see, oh, sorry, this needs to be driver dot find element because we need to find element by XPath, and inside quotes just copy paste the XPath that you copied, that I've illustrated you. After that you just need to click this uh, sorry, we need to enter something here, enter something inside input field. So now to enter this, simply we will say input dot send keys, and here we will send keys, we will pass the player name which is passed here. So we will simply pass the player name, that's it. After passing it, it will write it, and then we need to press the enter key. So pressing enter key, it is very easy. We will another say input dot send keys, and then here we will say keys dot, and various keys are there. You will see that we need to have the return key, that's it. So this will press the enter key in the keyboard programmatically. So this is a power of Selenium. You can automate the stuff inside browser, you don't need to do it manually. After doing this, it will open the player page here. So let me just run this for now and show to you if it is working. So now you can see it will press the enter key automatically and then close it. So now basically we need to get the information about a particular player. Basically, if you write here on Google about a certain cricketer, and then you will see this all this information. So basically this is a biography, short little biography description about the player. So we will right click it, go to inspect element again, and simply you will find this span tag. So here we will simply copy paste the again the XPath. So like this, so we will now create another thing which is called as biography, and here we will see driver dot find element by XPath, and inside quotes we can pass the text. We want to extract the text, that's it. So now we can print this biography like this. So if you just print it, so now basically what it will do, it will run this application. If I pass the cricketer name here, Kane Williamson, so now this will open the page automatically, and then it will show you this biography on the command line. Simply, Kane Stuart Wilson is a New Zealand international cricketer. Similar to this, you will see we are just scraping this information right here. If you have seen here, let me just show you. This is the information we are scraping it, which is displaying here right here. This is the, you can change the cricketer name to any cricketer here. Let's suppose I change this to Pat Cummins. This is Australia cricketer, so just automated stuff is there. You will see Patrick James So this is the biography. After doing this, we will extract more information like this. So what we need to do is that we need to scrape this information, which is this two people are watching the stream, guys. So first of all, like the stream. So we are building a cricketer statistics kind of a application where we will scrape all this information from google.com. So now we need to scrape this information, which is this 8 August 1990, all this information. So we will right click it, go to inspect element, and then we will inspect this, copy this XPath like this, copy XPath like this, and here we will simply say another, declare another variable which will be I think this will be age. So personal info, I will say personal info, and this will be driver dot find element by XPath once again, and inside single quotes we will paste this dot text. So now basically if you now also print this, you will see this personal info. If I print this, so now what we'll do, let me pass, run this application, pat commits, I am passing this information. It will automatically open this and it will extract this and it will display this information 8 May 1993, age 28 years, Australia. So now we are scraping all this information and displaying it. So this is also done. Now similarly we can see the height as well. Simply inspect element and again go to this, right click, copy XPath, and similarly we can declare a height variable to scrape the height of the cricket player. So simply we can say height driver dot to find element by XPath, paste this XPath and dot text. So we can also print the height here. Next information we have is this information which is called as if you see, we can just see this information which is this test matches information, how many tests the player has played. Simply we can right click it, simply copy this XPath once again. So this you can repeat it. I have shown you for one element right now. You can just do it like this process once again, inspect element and then copy their XPath. So I will not repeat for every element. So just do it, repeat this process for every average that you want to display, test, ODI, T20, IPL. But I will only display the test and the ODI ones because most of the players have played these formats. So what we can do is that I have all this information preloaded here. This is this one. Let me just see. If you see here, this is the batting. Let me see. Test year, ODI year, test matches, OD test. Let me copy this information right here and try to paste it. So we are just getting the X path and we are just pasting it. So let me just see. So you will see all this information we have grabbed here from the X path. Test year, ODI year, test matches, ODI matches, test runs, ODI runs, test average, ODI average, test strike rate, ODI strike rate. So now what we need to do is that I will just print it out in a nicely manner. You will see that. So that's it. Let me now print it. So instead, like this, you will see has played this much of message. So let me just now run this once again. And let me write Steve Smith and enter this. So now this will open Steve Smith and automatically this will scrape it. And now you will see Steve Smith has played 83 test matches, 128 ODI matches, 762 test runs for 4,378 ODI runs. So this much average of 60 in test matches, average of 43 in ODI matches. So strike rate 54, strike rate of 88 in ODI matches. This is the born date. This is a short little description. This is the height. So all this information we can display it in data, oh sorry, table inside our browser. So now to transfer this information, it is very easy. We will create a simple JSON object inside our Python script. So now to create the JSON object, it is easy, very easy. If I show you, we will declare this stats object and then we will transfer all this information in a file called as file.json. You can call this file any file of your choice. So you will see now this will contain all this information. So this is, I will call this as the personal info. So this will be biography. So that's it. You will see all this information is transferred here. So after that, we are creating a file.json. Inside this, all this information will be stored. Let me again run this application, Python main.py, and then followed by any cricketer you can give here. So what is the famous cricketer right now? Let me say Babar Azam. So uh, sorry, we also need to provide the google.com because we are scraping it through google.com. So if you do this, it will automatically type cricketer name and then it will scrape this information and it will create this file also, file.json. So now this will create, have this all this information that we want. You can see all this information: height, biography, born, test year, ODI year, test matches, ODI matches, test runs, ODI runs, test average, ODI average, test strike rate, ODI strike rate. So now we can display this information in the browser. So now we can make a Node.js application right here inside this root directory npm init -y. So this will create a package.json file holding the information about the project. After this, what we can do is that we can say npm I express, and then we can say EJS, which is the template engine. So we will install these dependencies. Just three people are watching the application, guys. We are building a cricket statistics scraping kind of a application where we are scraping all this information into a JavaScript object, and then we will be displaying it inside the table. So we are scraping this information right here, which is displayed right here on the google.com, which when you type any sort of cricketer, let's suppose you type a cricketer name. So all this information that you see, we are scraping it and through a Python script using Selenium. At the end of this tutorial, I will write a blog post on my tutorial. So I will give all this source code. So all this information that you see, we are scraping it inside our Python script and storing it inside this object. You can see all this information is scraped. So now we need to try to inside our index.js file, which is the starting point of our application. So here we have a simple module which is called as execute. So here inside this Node.js application, we will call the Python script. So, so we will simply say execute. We will say Python followed by the script main, which is main.py. Then we will say https google.com and the cricketer name. So I will give different cricketer name right here, which is, let's suppose, Martin Guptill. So without any spaces, and then we can display this information right here: standard output, standard error, and console log standard output. So if you see here, guys, it will create this file.json. The file will change. Let me run this application node index.js. So now this will call this Python script. You will see automatically this browser will open. It will open this and close it. So now this will change to Martin James Capital. You will see that it will get all this information: test runs, ODI runs, average, test average, ODI average, text strike rate, and ODI strike rate. So if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. And if you have any sort of doubt related to this project, please ask it in the comment section. Some comments are there, isn't it? Can you show your EPMB on Zoic? I will definitely show after this video. Yes, this is what I wanted. Yeah, you can get this using web scraping. So keep watching this live stream. At the end of this tutorial, I will give you the full source code regarding this, how I built it. This is just a Python script which is using Selenium inside the browser. You can't use any sort of API because no public API is available. You need to be doing this using web scraping. So web scraping is the only alternative that you can use to scrape all this information that is available inside the internet. You can see that for every player it works. It will just scrape all this information. And now let me tell you how it is done using inside the browser. Let me display it inside the browser. So right here inside index.js, we will include the express module. We will require it express. We will say const app is equal to express app.get. When we load the page for the very first time, we will say request response.render, and here we will say index app.set. We will set the view engine, which is EJS, and we will start this application at a port which is app.listen 5000. So here we will simply say that app is listening on port 5000. So now inside this views folder, we need to create index.ejs file. So right here we will say cricket player statistics in Node.js. So right here what we need to do is that just include the bootstrap CDN, and go to w3schools.com, and then you only need the CDN for the CSS. So simply after the title paste it, and we will give it a heading which is cricket player statistics. After that we will have a simple form which will action will go to get info, method will be post, and here we will provide the user to enter the player name attribute we will give as player, and this should be required, and the placeholder will be enter player name. Then we have a simple button to submit the form. So these are all the bootstrap classes. So we will say get player info. So now if you run the application once again, so basically let me delete this. So now if I reload the application, nodebon index.js. So if I open here localhost to 5000, so you will see this is the interface, and here you will enter the player name, and then what we need to do is that we need to make this post request app.post get info. So for getting this, we need to include the body parser middleware. So include this. So after this, you can get the value which the user has entered here inside this input field. So for getting this value, we will simply say app dot, sorry, this we will call here the Python script execute. So first of all, we need to trim the spaces. So trim spaces in text in Node.js. So we can do this using, I think, is trim method. So basically, it will let me call this Python main.py https google.com, and then we will insert dynamically. So this needs to be backtick symbol. So here we will say trim, and trim is equal to, and inside this we will pass request.body.player, and then we will have this. So if any sort of error take place, then we can console log it. So now if you reload the application, so if you just provide here any cricketer here, let me localhost. If you provide any cricketer, let me change the name to Henry Nichols. Click. So it is saying trim is not defined. Let me Node.js uh, trim spaces in string. Oh, sorry, we need to call this like this. So request.body.player, and then we have this trim method, which will remove the trailing white space. So once again, if you reload this application, and if I pass a cricketer name here, right here, Henry Nichols, if I pass, so now it will open this automatically. It will type this. I think it hasn't. Node.js remove spaces from string. Let me run this. So yes, I think it should remove this. So let me put this regular expression here like this. So player is equal to request.body.player, and then we will replace it player.replace. So simply we will pass this player dynamically. So now if you pass this player here, so hopefully this will open this. You will see it has opened this player, and if I console log it, if I see the directory here, file.json, so you will see it has created this file.json file. So you can see that. Let me once again run this, just one more time, just to see if it is working or not. Let's suppose I write Tom Latham, click get cricket info. So now if you check here, it has again created this file, Thomas William Maximum Latham is, you can see that all the averages, ODI averages scraped here. So now we simply need to, what we can do is that we can download this using response.download. Simply we can download this file. So we can simply say response.download file.json. So if I click get player info, so now it will see, it will launch this window, and automatically this file will be downloaded, file.json, which will hold this information. If I open this, you will see this will contain all the data which you want for the player. You can change the player name to any name of your choice. Let's suppose I change it Martin Reptil. Click get player info. So once again it will launch this window. Type the player name and automatically your file will be downloaded. You will see that. So this is a very automated application, web scraping application that we have developed. You can also display this data inside the table-like structure inside browser. For this, what we need to do is that instead of downloading it, we will simply say response.render, and then simply we will call index again, and there we will pass a profile object. So this object we can simply get it by reading this JSON file which is downloaded, saved it inside the root directory. So for this we need to require the file system module. So here we will simply say file system dot read file, and here we will pass the file name which is file.json, and if any sort of error and data, I think this is the correct way in order to read a JSON file. If I think we have this code here which is available. Let me copy this code and paste it here. So this will read the JSON file for us. Simply change the name file.json. We are using json.parse. So this will parse this data. After reading it, simply we will move this line right here. Response.render index, and then we will say profile is equal to profile. So we will name this as profile. So we will pass this information to the template. So when we load it for the very first time, this profile will be empty. So right here inside our template index.ejs, after this form, we will just say, we will just inside a result div, we will just compare inside if condition that if profile exists, and inside we will also close this. This is all EJS stuff which is happening here. So right here we will use the table like structure, table striped. So these are all bootstrap classes. So inside this we will have table head tag, table row. Inside this, we will have these rows, which is first will be for biography. Then we will have the second row, which will be for personal info. Then we will have our, you can see how many, see the test here. You will see test here, ODI here, test matches. You can display all this. So test matches, test runs, ODI matches, ODI runs, oh sorry, test average, ODI average. So all this information you can display it, and after that inside our table body we will have the actual table data which we want to print out, which will be profile dot biography. This is for having this biography. Then we will have the same for, this will be for born. So after this test matches, this will be test matches. If you just see here, this is the object test matches, OTI matches. This will be for test runs. So after this we have ODI matches. This will be for ODI runs. Then we will have test average and ODI average. Test average and then ODI average. So that's it. This completes the application. If I load this once again, so now if I type any sort of cricketer name, let's suppose Tom Latham, and click get player info. So it will take some time because it is opening the window in the background. It will scrape this data and then it will return this data inside a table-like structure. You will this see biography. You can see Thomas William Maxwell Latham is a New Zealand cricketer who represent personal info. You will see that test matches, test runs, ODI matches, ODI runs, test average, ODI average. So this is, you can see that guys, I will deploy this tool on the website also, freemediatools.com. So this is a tool which is, you can see that you can also display more information. If you have more information that you want ODI hundreds, you can also display test 100 as well. So you can change the player name. Let's suppose I change to Alex Hales. Click get player info. So once again it will take some time. So you will now see this will change it to Alexander Daniel Hales. He is the right-handed opening batsman. Personal info you will see 11 test matches, test runs, ODI matches, ODI runs, test average, ODI average. So you can take any cricketer of your choice and then you can see the, so this is not using any sort of API, so this is all web scraping, and the data will be shown inside the table-like structure. And this is a real application which makes use of the real power of web scraping. And all the source code regarding this application guys will be there inside video description. Let me write a blog post here live. After this I will give the link in the video description of this live stream. This is, you can see my website here, coding Shiksha. Let me write a blog post here. So I will give the same title that is live stream here. Let me copy the title. copy the title and let me paste it here. So right here, we will give the source code. So first of all, we will write the Python script. For this, you need to have Selenium installed inside your computer, and the command is given here. This is a command. After that, we will give the Python script, which is you can call this Python script main.py, and here I will give this Python script here main.py. The category will be JavaScript. So this is a Python script and which scrapes all the stuff. So now to run this Python script, so we will simply say how to run this. So we will simply say python man.py https google.com, and then we will say the player name which you need to scrape without spaces. So this becomes like this python main.py https google.com, and then you will type any player name, which is any player, can be Kane Williamson. So this is your Python script. Now we will initialize the Node.js project. This will be Node Express app npm init dash y npm I express EJS, and then we will give all the source code of index.js file, which is this file. So simply I will copy this and simply I will paste it, and after this we will paste the index.ejs file, which is simply this HTML file. So inside the views folder index.ejs, so simply paste it. So that's it. This is all that you need. I will copy paste the screenshot as well so that you can also see what it will look like. So insert into post. So this is a screenshot that I've attached here. You will see that. So now I can publish this. So simply I will click the publish buttons to publish this blog post live. So enter this, click publish. So after this, I will give the link of this blog post. So now it is published. Click on copy link address. So right here inside the description, I will paste this. So you can go to the video description of this live stream and simply go to this blog post. So now thanks so much guys for watching this video. I will be seeing you in the next live stream. So please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well.